Yes, and it's wonderful to be back in Vegas. 8 years ago, it was when the PDC had their last Desert Classic. And hopefully this will be the start
60
of the revitalisation of darts here in North America. I mean, it's had a big following for many, many years. Back in the 80s and 90s, you know, 40 tournaments a year throughout the country. From Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, LA, and here in Vegas. A couple of tournaments. Of course, Chris White, he won an Open here in Las Vegas, so he should be okay with the climate.
Chris's daughter, Daddy's biggest fan. Chris White, you know, highly fancied. He won the first qualifier. And I remember, Rod, you will too, back at the first ever staging of the US Open in Connecticut some 10 years ago, when White was being tipped as the next big thing in North American darts, possibly with the, you know, with the game to be up there, the likes of John Park. But it hasn't quite worked out that way for White. He, on more than one occasion, has fallen at the final hurdle as he strives to make the big breakthrough. But this, arguably, his best chance. He is, for me, the favourite here today to win this North American Championship. Ah! The first maximum! And it goes to Jayson Barlow. Absolutely nowhere in the leg. Boy, he is now.
Yes, that certainly put the pressure on Chris White. Barlow will come back with at least one dart and a double, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And that 180 would have given him some great confidence. And he's just got to stay calm now. He's going to get 2 darts at double 18 for this first leg. Can't give these chances up. Oh, that's a big miss. Now, Chris White, he doesn't want to go inside him and start chasing down to the threes. Not a bad guide. A little bit better. Hit that barrel, and he's in. Oh, and a bit edgy in the first leg, Stuart. And this is where you need to get control of your game. Take this first leg. It just settles you down a little bit.
Well, they've all had chances, haven't they? What an important moment, you have to say. Hold of throw. Oh, that's difficult. That's difficult. Well, White has now missed 6 darts. 4 darts missed by Barlow. 1 for double.
No score.
The thing about it, Stu, they both scored really well in this leg. And now it becomes the player who wins this thinks he's nicked it, and he will have the confidence. The other player will be cursing himself and possibly lose the next leg. Well, you don't see this too often. Oh, and I was going to say, the big one couldn't be the hardest thing to hit.
All to do with the nerves and the pressure of the occasion. It was all right getting up there right at the start. The White's missed 9 darts. Barlow's missed 6. Big leg to win. Is that a good guide?
1.
Well, Chris White, you know, he's got to aim for the top wire. Must not bust this with the first dart. Oh, he's gone straight in. That's a big relief for Chris White. Perhaps that'll settle him down. And it was a breaker throw. No, it wasn't. Sorry. It was a holder throw for Chris White. Now, as I said, Stu, what can happen here? Barlow could be cursing himself losing that first leg when he could have broke the throw. And White may be the one who's confident now. And I think he may go on and win this quite comfortable.
Well, coverage of the North American Championship today here in Vegas. And then on Friday and Saturday, it's the big one. It's the US Darts Masters. All the big boys coming out to play here in Vegas. Van Gerwen, Anderson, Wright, Wade, Barneveld, Gerwin Price, and the debutants, Daryl Gurney and Max Hopp. All the players that we see today here at the Tropicana will be back to take on the PDC Stars in the first round on Friday. So all of this today is great experience for them, Rod, of the big stage. He's settled in now, hasn't he? Clearly nerves in the opening leg from White. But as I mentioned, this is the man to beat. His first maximum possible 11 darter. after he took 111 darts to win the first leg.
44.
Well, he's done exactly what he had to do. Wins the first leg and then takes his opponent out of the equation in the second leg. Missed doubles, but he's going to come back with possibly another couple of handfuls of darts. But he doesn't want to start another leg of missed doubles. It would just put him on edge. Of course, Barlow probably still
52.
reeling that he give away that first leg. So now White, this will be a 13-dart leg, a very tidy 13-dart leg for Chris White, and he races into a 2-0 lead.
Third leg, Chris to throw first.
Well, the winner of this will play Dave Richardson or Sean Brenneman, our second quarter-final. White, 45-year-old, actually born in Ontario, but lives in California. Barlow, 44-year-old Canadian, Stratford, 36. In Canada. Barlow, one of the 4 qualifiers from the North American Order of Merit. The White is on the money now.
125.
Yes, and he's got a good tidy throw as well. We'll have a look at that when he comes back to the board. You can see Barlow just got a bit of a rocking motion, a bit like Peter
60.
Manley. But this is Chris White.
Yeah, good to see Peter Manley here in Las Vegas the last few days. Won the Las Vegas Desert Classic. 1 dart.
60.
And still very popular with all the darts fans, young and old. Yeah, great to see.
140.
Darts back here in Las Vegas. Is it really 8 years since the last Desert Classic?
60.
Well, if Barlow can win this leg, it puts him well and truly back in the game. But to go 3-0 down at a race to 6, he will 45. Be chasing.
158.
Well, Chris White just needs to set this up. One major treble. He'll stay down there.
58.
Yeah, that's not a bad little number, the 100. Will we see double top if he closes that treble down with his first dart? I know all the British players, all the top PDC players go that way.
95. Which you require 100.
For 3-0. Well, have the confidence.
80. Jayson, you require 125.
This will be some shot. Well, needed the treble to leave the ball.
60.
So White back
20.
for double 10. Settled into it nicely, hasn't he?
Yes, after that first leg, very edgy, both going down to double 1, but it is Chris White now. It's just starting to turn the screw, and Barlow is going to be chasing, and you can see exactly what's happening.
26.
Just getting a bit frustrated. Confidence going a little bit, but Chris White, this is where he's got to keep his foot down. You can't let your opponent back in. You're 3-0 up. This is where a nice little 15-dart leg just keeps that pressure on.
Well, you mentioned him winning a big tournament here in Vegas. White, that was 10 years ago, 2007, Las Vegas Open. He beat John Kaczynski in the final. Remember 46. Johnny Kay? Many people will. Played in the PDC World Championship. Great player, great character, but not on the circuit these days.
140.
I mentioned about Chris White's throw. Just have a look when he comes back to the board on his extension, and that's what we try to tell all the youngsters that are coming through the games, and even some pros when they lose that little bit of extra extension on the hand. Now just watch this. He really does extend without moving his body. Look at that. That's a good throw.
137.
Well, quality. After the nervy, edgy opening leg.
85. Which you require 170.
Which he finally won on double 1 at the 10th double of asking. Oh, go on. Go on! Fantastic from Chris White.
Chris White.
Marvellous. Well, He took 10 darts to win the opening leg on double one. And in the opening match of the North American Championship, fabulous 170 out.
140.
Now, those who don't know too much about American darts could possibly see why this man could take some beating today.
Yes, exactly right. His scoring power, even in the first leg when they messed about in doubles, but Chris White's scoring power has been right up there. 4 140s and a maximum, and then that check out of 170. Everybody loves to see the 170. And now, total control of this match, and on the verge of a semi-final place.
60.
However, just got to keep focused. Good throw. Look at this, Stu. So he's got confidence with a great throw. Going to take some stopping, as you said. Yeah, I'll make him the favourite.
Got to switch. Surely got to switch. That second dart.
130
in there in the treble. But this is, I think it's fair to say,
100.
for the other players watching on, he's putting down a marker, and for the big PDC stars as well, who will be involved in the US Masters. The draw for that later on. But I'm sure none of them will want to play Chris White.
No, he's got into his game very quickly.
Yeah, well, White taking a big bite. They call him the Great White Shark. That's his nickname. Certainly a big bite out of Barlow. Double 16 for 5-0.
34.
Well, he's going to come back to the board.
Barlow's chance went on with his missed doubles. 7 chances to take the opening leg against the darts after hitting a maximum.
140.
Yes, you're exactly right. I did say the person that comes out of that leg will be the one with confidence and go on. And however, he's just well, that's 5-0.
Chris White.
Tidily cleaned up there by Chris White, and he's one leg away from a semi-final place.
Yeah. You may be wondering where some of the big names of North American darts are. But the Canadians, John Part and Jeff Smith, and the top American players, Darren Young and Larry Butler, all 4 of them failed to qualify.
99.
That's how tough the qualifiers were. 4 events, over 160 players from all corners of the USA and Canada. We even saw Norman Madu. Do you remember Norman from the Caribbean? He came to have a go as well. Played in a World Championship back in the day in the PDC. Norman Madu. Yeah, after the first leg, I get absolutely crystal clear. There was a man who knew he was going to win against a man who knew he wasn't.
Yes, and Barlow hit that maximum in that first leg to put him with a good chance, left him 66. So he would have taken the 66 out, then he would have been flying.
Well, he'll want to avoid the whitewash.
60.
Get a leg on the board at least. White will be ruthless, I'm sure.
60. 92.
Well, he's pinned the treble 19, which leaves him a nice ton. However, Chris White now just needs to set this up. A little ton will be perfect.
105.
Well, I think that was a bit of a strange last dart, because if he'd have stayed on the 20s and just hit the 20, 82 will still give him a dart at the double. But Chris White now coming to the board.
80.
He's going to get at least 1 dart at the double. If he doesn't miss the big numbers to just close this game out, he's going to get 2 darts at double 10.
67.
2 match darts
20.
for a whitewash in the first game of the North American Championship. Getting closer. Well,
no score.
Very close. In the end, not close enough. 3 more darts. He's missed 11 darts at double. Jayson Barlow. He's going to get another chance as Chris White misses 2 more match darts.
6.
Well, he struggled to start. In between, he's been excellent, and he's struggled to finish as well. Well, that's 6 darts. 6 darts to get a leg on the board.
No score.
Well, the first leg was like this, and possibly the last leg. But Barlow now...
5 out of 26, Rod, on the doubles, Chris White.
Yeah, you can just see Barlow talking to himself, and that little talk has done the world of good, because he's finally put a leg on the board. Sometimes when a player is really getting behind, then they just tend to relax a little bit, and that's when they can get themselves back in the game. And of course, someone like Chris White, although he's very experienced, he's thinking to himself, just throw one decent leg and let me get over the line.
60.
Instead of just getting up there and throwing, just start to think about the finishing line. That's the wrong thing to do. However, look at these 2 darts.
140.
Of course, another thing that these players won't be used to, Stu, is the heat. Although it's very hot outside, these stages with all the lights and live TV, you know, it's over 100 degrees wherever we go. Middle of winter at Adam Pally in England, it's over 100 degrees because we can't have shadows on there. So that's another thing that these players have got to adapt to.
140.
Well, giving it a go, Jayson Barlow. But surely White will wrap it up in this.
140.
Look for another 170 to leave 32. Got a possible 14-darter to win it. He squandered 6 match darts for a whitewash win. No mistake this time. A 15-dart leg, and Chris White with a standout 170 finish as well. The man who won the first qualifier